Under NOAA sea level rise projections, what are the 6 scenario labels shown in the review? Low, intermediate, intermediate high, high, extreme. What 2 observation types does the sea level rise graph distinguish in the review? Tide gauge observations, earlier record, and satellite observations, more recent record. In the sea level rise risk tables, which city ranks 1 for assets exposed to coastal flooding in both 2005 and 2070 projections? Miami, United States. About how much value of assets in Miami are exposed to coastal flooding in 2005 versus 2070 in the review table. $416 be exposed in 2005 versus $3 5T exposed in 2070. In the sea level rise population table, which city ranks 1 for population exposed to coastal flooding? Kolkata, India. About how does Kolkata's exposed population change from 2005 to 2070 in the review table? $1, 93 million exposed in 2005 versus $14, 0 million exposed in 2070. In the coastal adaptation diagram, what does protect explicitly include? Hard structures and soft defenses. In the review, what does retreat mean in coastal response strategies? Planned retreat, moving people infrastructure away from the shoreline. In the review, what does accommodate mean in coastal response strategies? Staying in place, but adapting structures, e.g., elevating buildings, to tolerate flooding. If warming is limited to 1.5 degrees C, what does the review say about the likelihood timing of a first ice-free Arctic summer? It is very unlikely before 2065. What region does the review highlight as one of the fastest warming parts of Antarctica? The West Antarctic Peninsula. In the krill slide, what does the review project could happen to suitable sea ice habitat for young krill by 2100? It could decline by up to 80%. In the renewable energy cost slide, what approximate 2023 costs per MWH are shown for solar and wind? Solar 60/MWH and wind 50/MWH. In the renewable energy cost slide, what approximate 2023 costs per MWH are shown for gas, coal, and nuclear? Gas 70/MWH, coal 117/MWH, nuclear 180/MWH. In the IPCC 1.5 degrees C responsibility slide, who has contributed more to climate change to date? Developed countries. What did the review say about the last ice age relative to today's climate? Only 4 degrees C cooler globally, but it put 1 km of ice over Ithaca. Roughly how long does the review say CO2 can persist in the atmosphere? On the order of 10,000 years. In the Cornell history slide, what 2001 student organization action is highlighted? Kyoto Now. Protested. President Hunter Rawlings agreed to reduce Cornell emissions consistent with Kyoto Protocol. What key national first does the review claim Cornell achieved in 2001? First university in the nation to commit to Kyoto Protocol emission reductions. In 2007, what climate commitment did Cornell sign, and what target did it set at the time? Signed the American College and University President's Climate Commitment, set a target date of 2050. What did Cornell's Faculty Senate do in 2013 regarding the climate target date? Passed a resolution calling to accelerate the target date to 2035. What happened in 2014 across Cornell governance bodies regarding the Accelerated Climate Plan? Student Assembly, Grad Prof Student Assembly, Employee Assembly, and University Assembly passed supporting resolutions. What campus system was established in 2000 to reduce cooling energy demand? Lake source cooling, in summer. In the campus energy future figure, what hot rock reservoir temperature and depth range are shown for Earth source heating? 120-140 degrees C, at 35 km depth, 10, 00015, 000 FT. In the heat option slide, what depth range defines Earth source heat, ESH, in the review? Deep Earth source 46 km. In the heat option slide, what depth range defines ground source heat pumps, GSHP, in the review? Shallow ground source feet. In the heat options slide, what is listed as a heating option specifically for peak loads? Biomass combustion, for peak loads. In the geothermal threshold slide, what temperature is associated with geothermal electricity generation? Typically 150 degrees C. In the geothermal threshold slide, what temperature range is associated with direct heat use? Roughly 5100 degrees C. In the geothermal definition slide, what 3 characteristics define hot dry rock geothermal resources? High temperature, no fluid, and low permeability. In the geothermal definition slide, what engineering method is required to make hot dry rock usable? Fracturing/enhancing permeability to create fluid pathways. In the Cornell ESH overview slide, what is the drilling depth range given for deep geothermal wells? About 28 km. What does the ESH slide say about Cornell's Earth source heat team timeline? The ESH team has worked since 2016 to the present. In the Cornell ESH slide, what is emphasized about CUBO relative to production injection wells? CUBO is a borehole observatory. It is not a production or injection well. In the Cornell ESH slide, what economic note is made about carbon pricing? If carbon pricing is included, ESH economics look even better relative to natural gas. In the shallow versus deep geothermal slide, how many wells are estimated for Cornell if using shallow ground source heat pumps? 1, 422 shallow wells. In the shallow versus deep geothermal slide, how many wells are estimated for Cornell if using deep earth source heat? 20 deep wells. In the shallow versus deep geothermal slide, what intermediate well number is shown for a medium depth option? 400 wells. In the Deepwater Horizon spill slide, what dates and size comparison are given? April 20, Sept 19, 2010, tilde 5 times Exxon Valdez. In the Deepwater Horizon slide, what spill volumes are given for Gulf versus Exxon Valdez? Gulf 180 million gallons versus Exxon Valdez, million gallons. In the Deepwater Horizon long-lasting effects slide, what chemical contamination was found in 2020? Elevated polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons found in every surveyed fish species. In the Deepwater Horizon long-lasting effects slide, what biodiversity loss fact is given for endemic fish? 29 of 78 endemic Gulf fish species have not been officially recorded since the 2010 spill. In the Deepwater Horizon long-lasting effects slide, what persistent ecosystem damages are listed? Damage to oyster fisheries, loss of marshlands, and declines of marine mammals, sea turtles, and seabirds. In the trophic transfer heavy metals slide, how much phytoplankton carbon is required to make 1 unit of harvestable fish carbon? 3 trophic steps. Tilde 10, 3 units of phytoplankton carbon. In the trophic transfer heavy metals slide, how much phytoplankton carbon is required to make 1 unit of tuna? 5 trophic steps. Tilde 10, 5 units of phytoplankton carbon. In the heavy metals slide, what human dietary warning is explicitly stated? Pregnant women, or women of childbearing age, should be especially careful eating high trophic fish like tuna or swordfish. What 2 major marine debris impacts are shown in the marine debris slides? Entanglement in lost, discarded fishing gear and ingestion, notably by seabirds. In the nutrient loading slide, what is the final biological consequence of hypoxic anoxic bottom waters? Suffocation of oxygen-consuming, aerobic organisms, including fish. In the nutrient pollution drivers slide, what 4 drivers are listed for increased fertilizer demand? Population increase, higher per capita meat consumption, corn ethanol production, and industrial farming practices. In the meat production slide, what key trend is emphasized about meat consumption versus population growth? Meat consumption growth is outpacing human population growth, especially via increased per capita meat consumption in developing countries. In the U.S. nitrogen balance slide, what percent of fertilizer is shown as leached to water at the field level? Tilde 20% leached to water at the field level. In the U.S. nitrogen balance slide, what percent is shown as harvested in crops? Tilde 57% harvested in crops. In the U.S. nitrogen balance slide, what percent is shown flowing into animal consumption? Tilde 32%. In the U.S. nitrogen balance slide, what percent is shown leached to water from animal consumption pathways? Tilde 17%. In the corn ethanol slide, what is stated about corn ethanol's role in fertilizer use? Corn ethanol is an important driver of increased fertilizer demand to grow corn. Approximately what peak share of U.S. corn production for ethanol is shown in the corn ethanol graph? Around tilde 40% at peak, roughly early 2010s. In the deep sea mining slide, what type of seafloor resource is emphasized as economically valuable? Polymetallic nodules, seafloor nodules. In the deep sea mining slide, what key critical minerals are cited as valuable for clean energy? Cobalt, lithium, and nickel, among others. In the deep sea mining slide, where has the ISA granted 17 of its 30 exploration licenses? The Clarion-Clipperton Zone, CCZ. In the deep sea mining ISA slide, what happened at the July 2025 ISA meeting regarding extraction contracts? It concluded without a decision on issuing extraction contracts. In the deep sea mining ISA slide, who is listed as opposing deep sea mining until impacts are assessed? Governments, France, Germany, Chile, corporations, BMW, Google, and 700 plus experts. In the aquaculture ethics slide, FAIRR 2019, what are 3 of the listed concern categories? Coastal eutrophication, harmful algal blooms, fish feed supply reliance on forage fish, habitat destruction, and biodiversity loss. In the aquaculture ethics slide, FAIRR 2019, what are 2 human social concern categories listed? Forced labor and community resistance, also transparency food fraud.